Welcome to the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from Northwest Community Television. It's time again for an update of what's new in Maple Grove and a look back at the most recent council meeting. Stay with us. The Maple Grove City Report is coming up. And thank you for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report. Joining us, Al Madsen, City Administrator. Welcome again, Al.
Thank you, Dave.
We've got information hot off the press for you that we'll get to in just a second. Also a recap of the council meeting, which was a little longer meeting for the City of Maple Grove, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. But hot off the press, Al, road construction. It would not be, well, it isn't really summer yet, but it wouldn't be this time of the year without road construction.
No, absolutely right.
What is the latest news around town?
Just to give our viewers an update, Weaver Lake Road, that's been quite a bit of work's been going on there. All the paving of Weaver Lake Road from Main Street all the way over to Jefferson Highway, that will be complete in 2 weeks.
Nice.
I have to toss in depending on the weather.
Okay.
So all of this is
Right.
depending on the weather. Elm Creek Boulevard, for those that have been driving that, they notice that the county is on there doing quite a bit of milling, and that will be repaved, and that should be complete in the next 2 weeks, and again, depending on weather. Another one, I-694 from 35W west to Highway 100 in Brooklyn Center. Pavement rehabilitation is going to begin within the next week, and that clearly is going to cause some delays for motorists. Highway 169 from Plymouth to Elm Creek Boulevard in Maple Grove. Total resurfacing of that will begin in about 3 weeks. And so that also will slow down traffic. Both of those projects, I assume, probably could take, they'll take all of June or July and probably toward the end of August or maybe even first part of September. But the 169 one may be a little bit longer. Our Weaver Lake Road project, as well as Elm Creek Road, even though they're county projects, they're in our city. Those, I'm comfortable those should be done in 2 weeks. I do think we're going to have sun. I do. Really
Yes, it's bound to happen at some point. So we'll get rid of a couple local projects and add on a couple a little bit bigger metro projects.
Right.
How about 93rd Avenue and 169? I know it's not in Maple Grove, but obviously affects a lot of Maple Grove residents. It looks like they're moving along on that intersection.
They're doing very well on that. I have been told that they are on schedule, or maybe just a little ahead of schedule, even with all the rain we've had. It slows down traffic. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
But clearly, that's a major project that the county and MnDOT is working on as a team. And so, time-wise, when that'll be complete, I don't have that. All I've been told is that right now they appear to be progressing well and seems to be on schedule for now. So,
well, that's news we like to hear.
Yes, for sure.
All right. How about what else around town before we get to the council meeting?
Farmers Market will open for its 10th season. It's hard to believe, 10 years already. And that will be June 13 from 3 to 7 p.m. And once again, it'll be at the parking lot by the community center. Right. Along with the Farmers Market, along with the vendors, which are, I think, around 50 this year. There'd be kind of a different layout. I think a better layout. Also, there's always those little extracurricular activities that take place. Fun games for the kids, and just overall good activities for every member of the family. You want to shop, then enjoy the activities, or enjoy the activities and then shop. My sense is that it seems like the first farmers market right out of the chute every year is a huge draw. Now, I know some vendors have been slowed up again because of the weather, and so some of the produce may not be as abundant the very first time, June 13th, but it's moving along well. It's amazing though that we've been doing this for 10 years, and it's highly successful. We run anywhere from 2,000 to maybe even knocking on the door 3,000 people coming to the farmers market.
That
So
is amazing.
It is, truly is.
We had a chance to talk with Elizabeth Johnson from Cross as well, and I understand Cross has been a partner in this and
Yes.
encouraging people to donate food, and it sounds like this year they're going to have a booth there as well, so
They will,
that
yes.
opportunity for people that attend the fair.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the nice things, and I think it's just a wonderful thing by some of the vendors, is some of the product they have left over, they donate to Cross, and I think that's just wonderful. They don't take it to the next farmers market on their list. They, at the end of the day, if they got something left over, they donate it to Cross, and I think that's wonderful.
And again, Cross, the food shelf that serves much of Maple Grove and
Yes,
also Osseo and
Osseo
into the Rogers area as
Right,
Well. They're
right.
located up in Rogers, so
Right.
I'm sure you could find more information on the website. But look for them at the farmers market.
Absolutely. Our ISO rating, it's an organization that comes out and reviews number of fire department, fire stations, the equipment in each station, the personnel, the call ability, timing, and things like that. Periodically, they come out and they do a rating. The city, for quite some time, had a rating of 3, which is a very attractive rating, very, very good rating for our residents as it's reflected in their insurance premiums.
Right.
And so we've been very fortunate to have a 3. This time around, we still are going to have a 3, but ISO is keeping the 3 only for the areas where services are put into place, where development has either started or
Okay.
been completed. For what we still consider to be the so-called rural areas
Okay.
in Maple Grove, I believe that's going to a 9 now. So the folks that live out in that area, I mean, they live out there because they love, the rural area. But at some point in time, they may, I don't know for sure, but they may see a little bit of a rise in their fire insurance rates.
Okay.
But most of the city is going to be a 3, so we're still happy that ISO is keeping us at a 3.
What has that rural rating been before? Has
3.
it been? It
We've
has been a 3 as
We've been
well.
3
so the whole
citywide.
City. Okay.
Yeah, we've been 3 citywide, and now ISO has shifted their views a little bit, and so now 3 will be in the areas that are developed. The rural areas will jump to, I think it's a 9, if I remember
And I
right.
would guess this is not Maple Grove alone that this is
No.
happening to. This must be a trend that they're seeing and putting forth in lots of cities.
Absolutely, right. It's a trend across the country.
Okay.
That the rating agencies are doing, mainly because, the insurance premiums and things like that, insurance companies, and so, most of our city is serviced, but we do have areas in the western part and the northwestern part,
Right.
which is still, I guess we could call them rural. That they may see, and I can't say for certain, but they may see an increase in their fire insurance policy rates.
Okay.
So, and that's actually that's something that is out of our hands. That's really determined by this rating agency.
Right.
Right now, we have issued permits for 90 homes as compared to 80 last year, so we're running ahead of schedule. Our foreclosures are moving down. They're around 200 now, so they keep inching downward, which is good news. FedEx, they're going to be building, it's somewhere, it's moving toward 300,000 square feet building on the south side of 85th Avenue, Weaver Lake Road, and so we're ready to issue a permit to them to start construction. Let me just see what else we got here. Oh, a couple other apartment projects. Staff met with officials of Silvercrest Properties, and we've
Okay,
talked about
right.
Silvercrest in the past. Had a very productive meeting with them. They want to submit an application the middle of June for their multi-phase, multi-story senior project. And that will be at the corner of Weaver Lake Road and Main Street, right across from Lifetime Fitness. The city is selling roughly 15 acres to Silvercrest. And so I'm thinking sometime this fall, we're going to start to see that project come out of the ground. But it is a multi-phase. It's about 350 units, probably do half in phase 1, half in phase 2. So the other item that has been, I think we've probably been talking about it for about 2 years, is a sky at Arbor Lakes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Finally, that one is going to start breaking ground.
Very good.
And that is located over by Hemlock and Arbor Lakes Parkway, just on the north side of Arbor Lakes Parkway and on the west side of Hemlock.
Right.
That's a two-phase, roughly 440 unit rental. That's market rate.
Okay.
Not just seniors, but that's market rate. Now, want to caution our viewers that when they see that start, what they're going to see coming out of the ground first is the parking ramp.
Which might confuse a few people.
Right. People think, well, why are you building a parking ramp in the middle of nothing there? So the parking ramp is being built first, and then they start building the apartment buildings around it. It's unusual, but it's a process that they have done many times in their developments around the country, and it works. So just want to let people know.
All right, so new opportunities for people to live or maybe move from another spot in Maple Grove to those locations.
Right. We are looking at starting to see now an increase in property values. Most folks, myself included, we've seen our values drop. We're looking at an increase in values of 1 to 1.5%. It's not a lot, but it shows that I think we've turned the corner, and that now we're starting to see values creep back up. So those that are wanting to sell their home, that's good news. So, we always joke about, if you're not selling your home, you want your value low. So if you're selling your home, then you want your value up. So.
Exactly.
But anyway, so that's good news. Our city received another local government an award for our wellness program. We've been very successful over the years to receive a number of programs for that. Recently, we've had a series of retirements. This past week, we had 2 of our employees, Mary Peterson, a roughly 25-year employee in our assessing department, and Keith Flormone was a fire inspector, 14 years with us. They have both retired. And then this past Monday night at the council meeting, we accepted the retirement letter of Terry Halleck. Terry's been with us 37 years. Terry's done a phenomenal job for us over the 37 years. And so all 3 of them are certainly going to be missed. So I don't know if that's a sign of an aging population for our workforce.
Some people that have seen quite a few changes over the years in the city of Maple Grove.
Clearly have, yes. If our viewers, if they're wondering about what Silvercrest may be developing, if they happen to be in Eden Prairie, there's a development there called Summit Place, and it'll be the same or better than Summit Place in Eden Prairie. And I've toured that a number of times. I know that individually some of the council members have toured it. I think some of the planning commissioners have toured it individually. It's a wonderful facility. It's just got, for seniors, it's got everything in there that you want. So it's a wonderful, nice, attractive, beneficial facility. So we're looking forward to that getting going. Let me see if I have anything else that's of significance. I did mention that the foreclosure rate is dropping, which is good. We're happy about that. And the Maple Grove Arts Center, they picked up a nice $15,000 grant for their projects, and so that was excellent for them. And then also Maple Grove did receive an award of excellence from the Minnesota Association of Government Communicators for our website. And we're very, very happy that we've got this award of excellence. It speaks well. It speaks well, first of all, for all the time and effort that a lot of our staff.
Right. It was a long project,
it was,
usually websites are.
As well, yeah, absolutely right. And Prime Development Prime Advertising helped us with our website, and so they were there for the presentation as well.
Right.
And so our website has been getting a number of awards, and so all the work and the efforts you go into putting it all together starts now to kind of make it worth it. So
congratulations.
Yep.
We'll give you that web address at the end of the program with a lot of information, but you can just go there to look to see how nice it does look.
Council meeting, as you mentioned, was an hour and a half long. And lately for us, that's a long meeting.
It's very long. You have to take a break in the middle of it.
Right. Yes. We had a number of items that not a lot of discussion until we got to the crime-free multi-housing ordinance, and we'll touch on that in a moment. But an item on consent was the retirement of Terry Halleck, and the mayor pulled that off so that he could recognize Terry and thank him for his 37 years of service. And I thought I had Terry convinced to wait till the end of the year, and he decided to go with the end of July.
Blame it on the weather, right?
Yeah, could be, yes, yeah. But Terry's been a fantastic employee. I know him and Kathy are just going to enjoy their retirement immensely. So.
Excellent.
Another bit of congratulations is one of our sergeants, Adam Lindquist, has been selected to attend the FBI's Academy out in the East Coast. And we've had just a couple in the past that have been honored with that. So we're very happy for Sergeant Lindquist to be accepted into the FBI Academy. And it'll mean some time away from his family, but it's a great honor for him as well as the city, so we're very happy with that.
And obviously a chance for him when he comes back to share some of that information with other officers within Maple Grove.
Right, very much, you bet. We did appoint Dan Neitzel as a new police officer. We've had a couple of retirements, and so we've been filling slowly the retirement positions, and so we did approve Dan last night. And then we did approve starting the process to fill Terry Halleck's spot. And that will it'll probably be an internal posting at first. And then, you know, if we need to go outside, we'll certainly go outside. But there's a lot of good candidates that are, you know, even in you know, Terry serves in my department, and even on his own staff, you know, very capable folks. So Terry's done a great job of training his people very, very well. So, in fact, some of his part-timers have gone on to be police reserves and police officers.
Okay.
And so he's done a great job. We did approve the Ave Maria Academy. That was just more of a formality for their school. We did note the 10-year anniversary of the farmers market, and on July 23, there will be a gathering of the vendors with a meal served, and all the food will be food that is coming from each of the vendors. And we think that's just a neat way to do it. On June 29, Maple Tavern is going to have I think it's a Saturday, kind of an extravaganza, or maybe that's too harsh of a word, I don't know, but going to have a celebration. And so just to alert people that there will be bands playing. However, they cannot play past 10 p.m., and we will be monitoring that to make sure there is no noise issue. But Maple Tavern will be having this. I think my sense is that they may turn it into an annual event. The Lions are no longer doing their music fest, and so I think now Maple Tavern is kind of picking that up. So the Rotary Club of Maple Grove is going to be having a ribbon-cutting ceremony for their music park, which is over by the library and over by our band shell and our community center area. And so it's really great when you can have organizations like the Rotary and the Lions and other groups like that that really take a keen interest in the community and just do wonderful things. So they always seem to be stepping to the plate, which we love. So.
And you mentioned a music park. Now, for those that might not be familiar, they aren't usually around this area, but I know there's been some throughout the country. You and I could go there, and we might sound halfway decent with this. Tell us how this works.
Well, in my case, it would take quite something to get me sound halfway decent, but I don't know all the parameters of it. But yeah, I think that people can go there and they can participate. And I don't know if it's a higher breed of karaoke or what. I'm really not sure.
Sounds like to me there's instruments that they've built.
They've built
that
there.
Kids can walk up to and
kids can play. Adults can play if they certainly wish to do so. But with my music capabilities,
you won't be the first one there. Is that what you're telling us to get on the instrument?
No, I'd be hard pressed. So. We had a nice ceremony for Erica Wolf. Erica is been a firefighter for us for 22 and a half years. She's held a variety of positions in our volunteer fire department. She's done wonderful job for us all the years. And so we had a retirement party for her. We honored her with her firefighter's helmet, which is what we do when a
Nice.
firefighter retires. And she's moving on to new employment, and so we honored her for her years of service. So we're very, very happy with that.
Yes, thank you to her.
She's done a great job. She's one of these individuals that jumps in and gets involved in everything. If you need something done, bingo, she'll do it. So we did have just a short public hearing on the Bottineau Boulevard for the engineering services for that project, and that took about 1 minute. That was a very brief thing. We did have a public hearing on multi-housing revenue bonds, multifamily revenue bonds. This is for the Eagle Ridge apartment project, which is at the corner of 169 and the freeway. It's a large multi-story building there. This is just a formality. This is no obligation to the city at all. There's no financial obligation, none at all. But they're doing refinancing of their multifamily revenue bonds. And so wherever they have a project in a city, that city merely has to adopt a resolution. But again, it doesn't impact our ledger in any way, shape, or form. So it's just a formality, though, that we do have to go through. So. And then we got on to Whole Foods. They have applied for a liquor license. Whole Foods will be opening July 17th. And so they had representatives from Whole Foods were there. And so after some discussion, the council approved a liquor license for Whole Foods. And again, they're going to open July 17th. And I will warn people right now, there will be a parking problem. I think we've talked about that in the past. Is it with all that activity in that area, yes, there will be a strain on parking. And so I just ask for people's patience or adjust your shopping schedule accordingly so that you can deal with the parking.
So will this be a Krispy Kreme type opening where you'll have cars backed up and police directing traffic?
It would very well, it might be. I totally forgot about that.
Seems to be that popular.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Krispy Kreme. That was
a little hilarious when that happened.
It was, yeah, it was. It could very well be, sure. It just might be, so. And then we got into actually an item that really was the longest discussion of the entire council meeting, and that was our crime-free multi-housing ordinance. Most cities in the metropolitan area have already adopted this. Some of them adopted it a number of years ago. What it is, it's an ordinance designed to continue to give us a safer residential community. Now, this applies to landlords that have 2 or more rental units. Question came up at the meeting, why not apply to everybody, even those that might have 1? We have found that those that have 2 or more typically are investors. They're in it for a business. Individual has 1 typically is a person where mom and dad have located maybe to a different state and they haven't been able to sell their house yet, and so they rent out the house just for a period of time until it gets sold. And so that's why we've aimed at the 2 units or more. A number of our landlords in the city, of our larger apartment complexes in the city, they already do this. They already handle this. And so I think it's a huge benefit to the landlords. First of all, if they have a problem tenant, they can point the finger at the city and say, it's the city's ordinance. You have to get out. And I think it makes it easier for them. The other thing is that we hold training sessions, educational sessions for landlords. It's an opportunity for them to come to these training sessions and get a lot of free advice that they normally would have had to pay for, including legal advice. And so we held a couple of public meetings about this. At the council meeting, we had very few people that showed up, very few landlords. A couple of them were concerned just what impact It would have, also someone was saying again, now why not just apply it to every single rental unit?
Right.
But after discussion, and we had a couple of individuals there that are well experienced in investing and also having crime-free multi-housing projects that spoke in favor, and they feel that it helped them out, and it's also helped the city out. So, but it's something that many cities around us have adopted quite some time ago. I think Brooklyn Park's ordinance is actually a little more harsh than ours, but we have it's a 3-strike policy. So if a landlord has a problem tenant, they don't have to evict on the very first instance. But there's a first strike, a second strike, and then a third strike. And if there's a third strike, then yes, the individual does have to be evicted. Now, it doesn't really, it deals mainly with what we consider crime, not maybe more than just disorderly conduct. If someone's playing their radio too loud, but if there's drug activity going on, or if there's just any kind of criminal activity going on, this deals with that. And I personally think that it's long overdue. I'm happy. We've been working on this for a couple of years, and so I'm happy that we finally got around to adopting it. It's a benefit to the landlords. I'm convinced of that, and it's a benefit to the city. So.
Is there a cost to the city for doing this? And on the other hand, is there an investment that the rental owners have to make to fund this in any way?
Well, they have to pay a rental license, as they always have. So that's nothing new.
But that's not changed at all?
No, there is no cost to the city other than, we may have some staff that would come in on a Saturday if we hold, a training session, or we could hold 2 4-hour sessions. But the way the crime-free program is established, it has to be 8 hours. You can either do 1 full day of 8 hours, or you can do 2 4 days. But no, there's no cost to the city. There was some concern by one of the landlords that that the city would have to be adding staff. That's not the case. No, we already have staff in our community development department that does handle our current rental program. So no need for us to be adding staff. Cost to the landlords, it's no different than what the cost has been. There is the cost of rental license, and we've always been having a rental license fee. So, in fact, our fee is, I'd say, I think we did a survey of about 10 or 12 communities in the metro area, and our fee was lower than the middle. So I think we're still fairly reasonable.
Is this something that a new rental owner would have to apply for and go through the process before they start renting out property, or is it something that would have to be before they start
but
having that property be a rental property?
Right, but if there's a lease in progress, I mean, if they're 6 months into a lease and the lease hasn't come up yet, this doesn't kick in. This kicks in once that lease comes up for renewal. Then. So it doesn't disrupt that flow of the lease process. So. But it's one of those things that if we find that there's a bug or two in it, we'll address it. And we told the landlords at both the public meetings that if there is something that after it's implemented that maybe just isn't working quite right, fine, we'll adjust it. So we'll work with the landlords as we always have. So.
All right, very good.
But that got approved unanimously, so we're very, very pleased with that. So I think that was about it. Meeting got over at, I believe it was 9:04, so hour and a half meeting for us. So.
All right, and that brings to the close this edition of the Maple Grove Report. Al, thank you very much for coming in. Let's leave you with some contact information, and that next council date. It is on Monday, June 17th, 7:30 at the Government Center. Phone number at the bottom, website at the top for more information. If you have questions or comments, 533-1710, our viewer response line. For Al Madsen, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.